Hello, all my beautiful souls out there. This is Sherry at Soul Conscious Tarot, and this is going to be what are their current feelings? What are their current feelings for you? We're going to go ahead and dive right in. This is a collective reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. It may not be your message. Don't make anything fit that does not belong. So let's get right in here and see what their feelings are. We're going to get their... Actually, let's start with their thoughts. We're going to... Oh, there's a card that flipped right over there, so we'll definitely take that. So their thoughts, we're starting out with the Four of Pentacles. Somebody that I feel like if you look at that person, they are looking toward you. So they are thinking about you. They are thinking about this and thinking about the fact that they're sitting there in that window all alone, where they could be with you because they've been holding back. Interesting. What else is this person thinking about you? The Hermit, more sitting alone in their thoughts, sitting alone in their thoughts, deep in thoughts, reflecting on this situation, on this relationship, definitely coming through very strongly here, that that you're definitely on their mind, or this relationship is on their mind for sure. So if you were wondering, they are definitely thinking about this, contemplating it, feeling they left themselves out, that they're feeling lonely and they're feeling the distance, but they know that they're the reason. They know that they've done this to themselves. What else are they thinking? The Six of Pentacles. So that's like how much they're thinking about, how much they've held back, that they didn't give. They had the chance to give and they didn't. They decided to keep themselves sitting over here by themselves. The Seven of Wands, that they might have been a little bit defensive to this as well. And Five of Pentacles. Yeah, how they've left themselves out in the cold, which we kind of seen that with this Four of Pentacles. I told you they're feeling like they've left them. They definitely feel like they've put some distance between you and them, and they know it's on them. That's coming through very strongly. They're reflecting on this. They're definitely reflecting on the fact that they had the chance to come in correctly. They had the chance. You gave them lots of opportunities to show up for you, and they're realizing they had these opportunities and they chose not to. They're realizing that, how they didn't show up in the relationship in the way that they could have, where they have, created some blockages here, that they realize that the reason they're left out in the cold and why there's this distance and why they're feeling lonely, in this hermit energy, they've been reflecting on that while there's been this distance between you and them. I feel like there is this distance and they've been contemplating all this for sure. So what we have on this Four of Pentacles is the World. Like I said, they're wanting a new beginning. They're realizing that, like I said, they're really thinking about you. They're focused on you. They're looking at you going, hey, I want to start this, I want to start something new here. I want to do things a little bit differently than I did in the past because, what did this get me? The way that I did things before, all it's done is got me sitting here in a window, missing my person, sitting here all alone. All these cards are kind of a little bit defensive, alone, standoffish energy, and they realize that. So what do we got on this Hermit? What did they learn while they're in this Hermit energy? What are they figuring out? What are they contemplating while they're in this Hermit energy? The Five of Wands, the conflict, they realize, like I said, that came through strongly before I even clarified here, that, they realized that they could have done things better, that they're realizing they were part of the problem here, that their actions, were not the best, that they realize they could have done better. They do realize that. They realized that some of the conflict, probably a lot of the conflict, was their fault. I mean, at least I feel like always it takes two to tango regardless. We do have both people here, but they realize that both, their actions made you both feel this way. It led to both of you, feeling sad and dejected and alone. And they know that. They know that. So what's the Six of Pentacles? What are they planning on giving to this relationship? This is somebody who wants to give a little bit more, realizes they should have given more, but they didn't, realizing they didn't give enough when they had a chance to. The Wheel, yeah. See, they're hoping that you're going to give them the chance to show up. They realize that they could have showed up better than they did. I think that this person was focused on something else. I really do feel like when you two connected, this person had something else on their mind, like a third party situation. It could, I mean, for some of you, it might have literally been another person, but I feel like for some of you, it really just was, they were focused, like their priority was somewhere else. Like maybe they had kids that they were focused on. Maybe they had parents that they were dealing with and taking care of. Maybe they're just somebody that's focused on work and not, more on work than a relationship. It's something to that effect where their focus wasn't on building a relationship when you two met, and they're realizing now that that was a mistake, that their priority just at the time when this first, like the cause of separation, they're realizing in this Hermit energy that they were distracted, they were somewhere else, they were defensive to this, and defensive in the way that they were just prioritizing other things over this for whatever reason. It's going to be different for different people. So we have Justice here, the Seven of Wands. Now I like this Justice coming out as clarification for the Seven of Wands in their thoughts, because Seven of Wands is somebody who's willing to fight for something, and this is somebody who is willing to fight to put things right. So when they come back in, if they come back in, and we'll go into their thoughts, and then we'll go into their intentions and their next actions, and get those as well. So what I like though is this Justice coming out on the Seven of Wands is really telling me this person they're hoping with the Wheel here, clarifying the Six of Pentacles, that you're going to give them, they're wanting a new opportunity. They're wanting a new cycle to begin. They're hoping that you're going to give them another chance to do things right, that they'll get the opportunity to give you more than you did in the past, to give you this justice that they know that you deserve. They're definitely, that's what's in their thoughts. They're realizing that's what they realized in the Hermit, is how they caused some of this heartbreak that probably happened, this hard feelings between you both. I feel like, this is somebody that left on a train to go somewhere else, and kind of just left you standing there, crying, and what kind of like, what happened here? Why did they just leave me? Kind of just standing out there. You know how the scenes from the train where you have the person leaving, to, go do something else, and, maybe somebody going off to war, going off somewhere. It's like, I'm sorry, but I have to go do this, I'll be back kind of thing. I'm getting that kind of like energy from them of, hey, I got to go do this thing. I'm sorry. I gotta go do this, I really care for you. I really do, but I just, I gotta go take care of this over here first, before I can deal with you over here. It's not that I don't care. It's not that I don't love you. It's that that I got these other things that are just more important than a relationship right now, is what I think happened for a lot of you. So give me one more card on this Five of Pentacles. What's this Five of Pentacles? What's clarifying this Five of Pentacles? The Ace of Wands. Yeah, so with this Ace of Wands, it's telling me that they they're definitely missing certain things in the connection. That's a given. Because if that wasn't there, if the chemistry and passion wasn't there, a lot of times the connection wouldn't have been strong enough probably for this person to be longing and missing for it. The other thing too is I just feel like this person really dropped the ball, and I really feel like they realized they dropped the ball big time. Now whether you're going to give them another chance, that's up to you. That's definitely up to you, but this person is hoping that they get another chance to set the record straight. But it might be a little bit too late. Only you're gonna know that. So let's go ahead and get into their feelings. What are their feelings right now? We're gonna use the Messages of Love Oracle deck and see what is this person's feelings right now? How are they feeling toward my collective? I told you there was a third party. There were other things that got in the way of us being together. Didn't I say that? I felt that very strongly, that there was something they put as a priority over this relationship. And you'll know if there was another person involved. But I think a lot of you, it was just their priorities. They just weren't prioritizing a relationship at the time when you two met. They weren't expecting this. They weren't looking for it. And that's usually the way it happens, honestly. When we're not looking for love, that's usually when it finds us. That's when things usually find us, when we're not looking for them. When we're seeking them and we're looking for them, there's nothing to be found. We're not going to find what we're looking for. But the moment we turn our backs, when we prioritize something else and when we're doing something else, the universe brings us someone in, and then we have to make a choice. It's like the universe kind of likes to laugh at us, a little bit mischievous at times, and says, okay, well, here's what you were looking for. How important is it really? How now you got to choose what's really important. And it shakes things up in our life. And that's what the universe likes to do. It likes to shake things up. And the reason is because, the universe is all about, you think of the laws of energy, the principles of energy, it's all about balance. The universe is all about trying to balance the two extremes. We're in a world on this earth. It's all about duality. It's in this third dimension is all about duality. And the whole point is finding the balance between the extremes, striking and finding that harmony, that balance. And so that's why, like if we're focused on one thing too much, we're tipping the scales in one direction. So that's why like if you're focused too much on work, that's when the universe will try and throw love at you, because it's like, all work and no play, makes a dull boy. What is that? All work and no play makes somebody a dull boy or something like that. Can't remember it. Okay, what else is in their feelings? I kind of digressed a little bit there. So chemistry. I've never felt a passion like that. And I talked about that with that Ace of Wands. They are missing a little bit of wand action there, regardless of what sex it is, what gender you may be. It really is. They're thinking heavily about your time together. And even if you haven't been with this person physically, they felt that chemistry. It's the chemistry, the draw that's drawing them back. That chemistry that was ignited between you, feeling each other on a deeper level than just that surface level. commitment. I want you to be a part of my future. Yeah, this is somebody who, in this time apart or in this distance, even if you're still connected, this separation or distance between you, it could be just emotional distance. This person, while they've been, contemplating in their hermit energy, contemplating what's been going on and what led to the distance between you, whether that's physical or emotional, this person has realized that you're someone that they shouldn't have taken for granted. They shouldn't have treated you the way that they did. They're definitely contemplating the fact that they held back giving more to you. I mean, that's in their thoughts, that they're realizing they want the chance to give more than they did in the past. One more card here on their feelings, please. Absence. I feel like a part of me is missing without you. That's what we were just talking about. And they're really missing you. They're missing the absence. They're feeling very lonely without you being in their life, whether that's that physical or emotional distance, either one. Okay, their intentions. Let's go ahead and get their intentions. What are their intentions toward my collective at this time? What are their intentions toward their collective? To remember, this is just a snapshot in time. So this is just at this moment when I'm pulling this reading. We all have free will, so this can change. And if you ever wonder why tarot readers do so many readings, we can pull even readings throughout the day. And because the energy is always changing, we're always in different moods. I mean, think about yourself. How many moods do you go through in a day? I mean, sometimes I know people that I'm in a situation with, or I'm dealing with, and I don't care who it is, my kids, my family members, my friends, depending on what's going on, your emotions toward that person can fluctuate, even in the period of a day. Even it can change within the period of an hour. Like one minute your intentions are to do this, but then you get distracted by something else, or something happens, like you read something or something happens that then it disrupts that, that energy you had maybe even 15 minutes ago or an hour ago. So, it can change things. Everything's always in flux, and that flux, that constant flux is what, it can really change things. There usually is kind of an overall kind of arching energy, which is why I like doing collective energies or readings versus like the zodiac sign readings, because the collective energy is kind of like an overarching energies. There's going to be more specific energies, that are going to be more specific, that are going to kind of ride that. But overall, like the majority of people are going to follow the bigger energy flow or energy continuum, so to speak. So what's this person's intentions? What's this person's intentions? What's this person's intentions toward my collective? We have the Star. Their intentions is hope, optimism, hopefulness, realizing this is something. They feel the connection strongly. They feel that you two could be soulmates, definitely, with the Star coming out here. What else is in their intentions here? What else is in their intentions? The Two of Wands. Okay, they're still trying to make a decision. They're definitely, they do have a choice to make. I mean, they were prioritizing something else previously that got in the way of this connection. So that does tell me that they do have a decision to make on they need to reshift their priorities, but they are thinking about that, and their intentions are that they need to make this decision. They know in their intentions the Tower. Okay, but they also know that their intentions are that they know by making this decision to reprioritize that it is going to shake some things and change some things in their life. I mean, that's to be expected. Whenever we change priorities, regardless, whatever that priority is, it's going to make some changes in your life, because it's going to affect you in some way. If you decide to cut back on work and work less so that you can give more to a relationship, you may not make as much money. So that's going to take, require some adjustments and some change. It's also a way of thinking, because you are changing your priorities. So it is changing a way of thinking as well. So let's go ahead and there's other things that it can affect depending on what this third party was, or what the interference was, whatever this person was prioritizing over the connection. If they make the decision to prioritize this connection and come back in, which looks like that's their intentions, or at least their thoughts. Their intentions are the fact that they know they need to make a decision on what they're going to prioritize, or they need to shift their priorities. But they feel like, I like the fact that in their intentions, they are optimistic about making this change. So about reprioritizing things, they know they have the power to do it. They're confident about being able to handle the disruption it will cause in their life. I like that, with it being in their intentions, because their thoughts are that they want to come back in, they want to fix this, they want to give you justice, they want to make things more fair than they did before. They know that that requires prioritizing this relationship more than they did in the past, which they do understand that. They understand that this is going to cause a little bit of chaos and disruption in their life. Their life is as they've always known it, but they realize that they have the power to do that. They realize that in their intentions, they understand the cost, and they're weighing that up, with their intentions. They do plan to make a decision. Now that decision can fall either way, but with their intent, with their intentions of feeling the absence, wanting a commitment, really the chemistry that's here, I feel like it's leaning more toward their decision, especially since I feel like they have the confidence to take on the challenge of reprioritizing things in their life. I feel like that it's leaning more toward them coming in than not. Of course, there's always going to be those few that won't, because everybody has free will and they are sitting here at a crossroads with a decision to make. But there's always, the fact is look at, she's looking at a skull that represents death. It represents change. And we have the tower right here. So this is somebody, like I said, that is looking at this ending, realizing they need to make some changes. They need to transform some things in their life. And they know there's going to be this disruption, but they fully understand the consequences of what it's going to take. But I feel like with this person staring death in the face, the transformation in the face, and it's like they're almost ready to take it on full force, which means they've almost made that decision to lean toward this connection. So we're going to go ahead and get into their next action. What are going to be their next actions? I think this is going to be a clarification. You know what? With this next actions, we're going to see what they're... Let's get a card of clarification on this Two of Wands. Which way are they leaning? Are they leaning toward the connection? What's this clarification on this Two of Wands? What's this choice that they're making? What's this crossroads they're at? This choice they're making to express their emotions. Awesome. I like that. So they're deciding whether to hold back their emotions or whether to give to, That's the choice. The choice is whether they're gonna, come forward and express their emotions or not in this situation, which we kind of already knew. So let's go into their next actions. Their next actions, what are their next actions toward my collective gonna be? So I like this. This is a positive card. I know it doesn't really look too positive, but in this, the Angel de la Nuit is like a luck. It's kind of a lucky card. So I take it as someone who is, and it's kind of falling on that star. So with their next actions, it goes back to this wheel energy here of hoping, being wishful and hopeful that you're going to give them another chance, feeling optimistic that that they're going to get this chance is what I get. Next actions, please. Next actions. The Seven of Pentacles, wanting to invest. I like that a lot. And then the Eight of Swords. So their next actions, I think, so the way I'm getting this here with their next actions, with these cards coming out, is I feel like they're waffling a bit. Okay, their next actions is going to be to kind of waffle. And I think it's because they're still, even though they're leaning toward wanting to come back in, they also know that they've messed some things up. They know they've caused some stress here in this connection. They don't know if you're going to forgive them. They are hopeful that you will, because they're hopeful that you'll give them another chance to prove themselves. But they also know they've messed things up. So they're kind of going back and forth between these moments. And I talked about that flux of how from one moment we can think positively and another moment we can think negatively. We can be all over the place. And this Eight of Swords is telling me this person is all over the place. One moment, they're not, this person right now is not balanced in their emotions. They want to be. They have the confidence they can get there, but they're not there yet, is what I'm getting. I'm getting that they're still in this period of they're going back and forth and fluctuating on a few things, on whether they can be successful or not. What successful as far as being able to reprioritize things in their life. I think that they have moments, because I feel their confidence coming through. There's moments where I feel like they get on just on the doorstep of coming in and saying, expressing their emotions, expressing they want to do this. But then there's something that they get in their head and something holds them back, because I think it kind of hits them, the reality of the changes. It's that Tower moment, I think, that kind of holds them back. Because if you look at this, it almost gives me, I'm almost feeling like these are almost, the next actions is almost clarifying their intentions here, because we have the Star and then we have this card that is a special card of this deck, which is kind of a card of luck. So there's this optimism, this hopefulness, this hopefulness around investing, around expressing their emotions and investing, which is them making this decision to come in, I can make this work, I can do this. But then they look at, oh my gosh, what's it going to take to do this? And then they get scared. Then they get in their head and they have this kind of Tower moment, because they're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to change this, and I'm going to have to change that, and I'm going to have to do this, and I'm going to have to do that. And can I do it? And they start kind of, going around in circles in their head of these doubts of is this person, am I doing this for nothing? Will I make all these changes and come in and express myself? And is this person even going to accept me because I made all these mistakes in the past? And I think they just get themselves stuck in this loop, this feedback loop. And then they get themselves out of it and they're like, okay, I'm going to do this. I got the confidence. And I think they're kind of going round and round. But as we started off this reading, I feel like this person is getting to the point that, especially we have the full moon kind of peeking out. I think this person is, their emotions are coming through stronger and stronger. And I think with this full moon, it really enhanced how alone they feel right now, how much they're missing you, how much they really wish they were in your energy, wish they had your company. They realize that they've, by holding back, that they're the ones that have created this, this distance, and they know that. And so they but that is part of the challenge too, because they know they created this distance, they know they're at fault. And whenever, then you kind of get in those regrets and knowing, like, now I've got to make up for it. And is this person going to forgive me? That there's all those questions, and sometimes it can be a little bit challenging to get over those feelings and say, have the confidence to own up and take responsibility for, what's going on. But the added element here is that this person has a lot of changes. It's going to change something in their life, and that makes it even harder, because when by bringing someone, like reprioritizing things in your life, and maybe this person has prioritized whatever it is that got in the way for a very long time. It could be this person's been single for a very long time, and they're not used to having a relationship, so it's something that they have to get used to. It's something they're going to have to, something they need to change. If they're used to working all the time, well, it can be hard to give that up, because there's that, it's the comfort zone, it becomes a comfort zone. And anything, when it becomes a comfort zone, can be a really a challenge to change. It's like a habit. When something becomes a habit, if you've ever tried to diet or quit smoking or something like that, it can be very challenging, you know, um, because it's that habit that you're breaking, and it can be very hard at times unless you have that. I like, though, that we had this person has the seven of wands there, because the seven of wands tells me this person has the determination and strength to bring this justice, to overcome this if they choose to. But I think they're just in this energy right now of waffling. Okay, they're just kind of in this feedback loop a little bit. um let's see, let me get a card. Is this, let universe, can you tell us if this person is going to get out of this feedback loop? um maybe an estimate of about maybe when this person might get out of this feedback loop that they're in, when they might overcome this feedback loop. So I'm getting I'm getting I'm getting late fall. I'm getting late fall, early, like, I'm getting a November, early December vibe is what I'm getting off of these cards. Um and the reason I say that is because I'm picking up, okay, um, well, 1, 8, and 4 is 12, so that's 12, the month December. But I'm also picking up a holiday vibe, because I'm feeling with the ballerina here, I'm getting this kind of nutcracker vibe. Nutcracker is usually a winterish kind of thing, seasonal thing. This also looks very like a very wintry scene, kind of it looks like it's almost like it's transitioning into winter. So I'm thinking November, mid November to mid-December-ish time frame, possibly. Um, Possibly. Okay. I mean, it definitely could be subject to change, but right now, um, I think that this person it's this feedback loop that they're in. They have to get more, they have to get more sure. They have to be, they're still waffling. They're still waffling in their energy. They're still going to be waffling in their energy for maybe another month or two, okay? Because it does take time to make these kind of decisions. They don't always happen overnight, okay? But I do feel like this person battles. Like there's times when I feel like this person just wants to come in. And I got that. What card was that I got that from? There was a card. I don't know which card it was now. There's a card I saw birds on, and I was thinking communication, and I don't remember which card it was now. But it was so faint. And so I think that this person does have moments when they want to just jump right in and come in. But then they hold themselves back, okay? Because they don't want to make the mistake again, okay? So they hold themselves back. I mean, that's where we started this reading, the Four Pentacles. They hold themselves back. They keep themselves from coming in, even though they want to. So there could be an opportunity. I mean, there is a slight opportunity or possibility that this person may come in sooner. But if they do, if they come in sooner, be cautious because they may not be ready yet. They may have good intentions and they may want to make this work with everything they're thinking. They do want to try, but they may not be really, really ready yet to fully reprioritize things in their life, to take on the change in the tower moment that's going to happen with them coming in. So it's better for you if you wait until they're definitely sure, 100% sure that they've made the decision that they're ready for this, okay? So it's going to be hard for you to know, and it's where it's going to be, this is something you're going to have to use your intuition on. And I would say possibly if they come in sooner than like within the next month or so, or even in the next few weeks, I would really take things very, very slowly and cautiously with them. I would not get your hopes up too highly and kind of just suss out whether they're really ready to make you a priority or not. And if you feel like they're not, just keep things really slow and you know, I would keep doing what you've been doing in this distance to make this person realize they need to put the work in, okay? They know they need to, but if they get a false sense of security that you're okay with just them coming in and giving you a little, they may resort back to their old ways, okay? And that's what you don't want them to do. So it's because it would be too easy for them to fall back into the habit if they haven't fully committed to making, to the decision to make, to do this, to actually make you a priority or make this relationship a priority for them, and willing to balance that out. So just be careful with that, because that's definitely coming through, that could happen on a whim, that they could come in before they're ready, fully ready to take on making those changes in their life. And I think that you would know, I think for most of you, if you've been dealing with this person for a while, you should know what is in their life that they were making a priority. So I think you would know by what they say and do that they've made changes. Like, they would tell you, I would think, that they've made certain changes to lessen, like if work was a priority, hey, I'm not working as much as I used to, where they're actually telling you that they've made changes in their life. If they're telling you they've made changes in their life, and they're showing you proof of the fact they've made changes in their life, then they're probably ready. They might be ready. So but I would still take it slow to make sure, that they are holding up their end of the bargain. I mean, they do have, in their thoughts, they do want to. So that's what I have for you. I'm going to leave it here. So thank you so much. I wish you all the very best. Much harmony and gratitude to you, my lovely friends.